afternoon. No, the network is a little bit shaky. The wind is too much here, and the network is a little bit shaking. Let us move into this very program. If you look at the headline of this very program, you will see what I put out there and the numbers of things that we want to discuss. But first, I need to do the needful. You know, whenever I join this very program or whenever I want to start this very program, I used to share this very program across every other platforms. For those of you that will watch later on YouTube, this very program is being anchored on Facebook. And it is a very good thing that you share this very program as well. It is a very good thing that you share this very program across many platforms. Invite your friends and your well-wishers. Just let them know that I am live and direct. Just let your friends and your well-wishers know that I am live and direct. And for you to promote this very platform or to make the message go viral, even if you don't want to share on your platform, you just hit the like button. For those of you who will watch on YouTube, hit the like button once. For those of you who will watch on Facebook, you can hit the like button as much as you can. It doesn't do anything, but on YouTube it is once, because if you hit twice, it removes the one that you have already hit. I am trying to share before we continue this very program to as much as people that I can reach out before we start this very program. Now, what we are about to discuss here today is the leak audio of Shetima. The leak audio of Shetima, not only the leak audio of Shetima, what Murray Bruce said about Biafra. And if we have time, the interview of Sowore and what he said about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know, we must never get tired of promoting freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's very, very important. We must never get tired of that. Even if the enemies they want us to get tired, we on our own self must resist every means of tiredness in us. We must resist it and say enough is enough. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu need to be free because DSS is not his father's house. And he have no case. If you cannot prosecute him for 4 years plus, so there is no point to keeping him inside detention. Because even if you prosecute him for 4 years plus, he would have been free. By this time, he would have been free. So we must consistently, without fear nor favor to our enemies, champion the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I think, let us move on, please. Others on WhatsApp can see it and they will join. Let us move on. I think I have shared this very program across and I would want you or wish you to join. So let us go into the program. There is a voice which have been making around the internet. This very voice, we brought it out when Buhari became the president before he died. But our own people ignored it. What is happening in Lagos State today and what is happening to our people even in Abuja, this voice have everything, every answer. But you know what? Most of our people who have one Nigerian mentality or whom they have bewitched with this one Nigerian mentality, they will always say, oh, it is propaganda. You people love propaganda a lot. And then Every effort that we put in place in order to explain to our people the voice notes, they said no, it is a propaganda. Biafra, love propaganda a lot. There was a man in Lagos when I was in Lagos. Just because Onotara one flat na Lagos. Every Biafran is a propagandist. Every Biafran is an enemy of Ndi Igbo. Anybody talking about Biafra, he will brandish you the enemy of Ndi Igbo. Just few days ago, I heard that Lagos state government is destroying his house, where he built house, few days ago. So that is part and parcel. Just in case if we are saying our own now, you are saying, oh, it is a propaganda. When they will destroy your own house also, we will call it a propaganda. Now, you people love propaganda a lot because that is payback. And I never pray that there will be a time for that, because one thing that we cannot do is so let me play this voice.
The fighting in Borno when there are people who are being killed left and right. Then what is the Alagi? I said, do you remember one time when our people were being killed? Alagi, congratulations. Thank you very much, Kule. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Honestly, I accept your congratulations, even though I did it. Because I remember one time when the fighting in Borno, when there are people who are being killed left and right. Then what is the Alagi? I said, do you remember one time when our people were being killed in Borno State, left and right, Bauchi, Gombe, everywhere in the north? Of course. I remember you were saying that was there any Southerner among us? We were the one killing ourselves. I always remember this statement, Mr. Kule. But look at this today now. Today our brother is in charge, and I'm sure he made it clear to the world. The first thing he said was that he was moving the command of Nigerian army to Maiduguri until when Boko Haram is over. So if not your brother as the president, who will do it for you? But we could have done it to anybody in Nigeria. But you can see that some people refuse to do it for us. So really, today I understand why we have to have the presidency.
So, in case if you do not understand what this guy is trying to mean here, they could have done it to anybody in Nigeria. He is telling Kule that there was a time that their people are being killed, massacred. Who are being killed? Who are massacring their people? He is referring to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan when he was a president. So he said he was massacring their people. Remember, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was fighting terrorism, that they themselves confessed that they imported some terrorists in order to do some election or whatever they might call it in Nigeria. They imported some terrorists in order to be able to win against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Now, the vice president now, which is Shetima, was telling Kule then, the vice president, Shetima, he's telling Kule then, remember that there was a time our own people were being killed, massacred. He's talking to a Yoruba man, and Kule was concurring. He said, nobody wanted to do it for them. That is, nobody wants to remove the military headquarters and put it in the north so that Boko Haram will stop. Ask yourself, have Boko Haram stopped? Instead, they created many terrorists. Now, this, your vice president now, which is Shekau in Asorok, you know, we have different type of Shekau. There is Shekau in Asorok, and there is Shekau inside bush. The one inside bush is an errand boy to Shekau in Asorok. So this now Shekau in Asorok was saying that instead of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to move the military headquarters and put it in the north so as to curb and stop the terrorism that is going or consuming them. But nobody did it for them. Nobody did it. Only Buhari did it. Buhari removed the military headquarters, returned it to the north, put it in the north, and now you can see that terrorism have stopped. Ask yourself, you that is listening to me now, Have terrorism stopped anywhere in Nigeria? Have you seen anything, the stopping of terrorism anywhere in Nigeria? Have you seen such? The answer is no. So this Shekau in Asorok, which is Shetima, don't mix it. Shetima, she means Shekau, but they put Tima in order to confuse us. We know his name. His name is Shekau in Asorok. This Shekau in Asorok was telling Kunle that now that Buhari have come, remove the military headquarters and put it in the north, you can now see that Boko Haram have stopped. Ask yourself, have Boko Haram stopped? What you now see is many creation of terrorism. They just go to the military barracks in the name of launching attack, collect all the weapons that they want, and nobody is stopping them. So what he means is that instead of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to put military headquarters for them so that they can come and attack in the name of Boko Haram attack, they will collect all the military hardwares in order to use it for their own terrorism and for their land expansion. And by engulfing the north, they can push it to the east, I mean to the south. I want to play it. Please put on your thinking cap while listening to this. Put on your thinking cap.
Us that some miscreants cannot be dealt with by Nigerian army. Why can't we believe it was deliberately left? Even if there is no involvement of government hand in it, why can't we believe that it was deliberate? Let them kill themselves. Well, it has come out even very clear, because it was at a point in our campaign, they were saying that by the killings of Boko Haram, there will be no population again. In fact, let me tell you why the North insisted that Jonathan has to go, because we had the plan that if Jonathan continues, the same problem will happen in Kanu, the same problem will happen in Sokoto, the same problem will happen in Jos and Ebro until when our population is depleted. No. We have had a wonderful experience, honestly.
In order to avoid the problem, that's what I said the people.
So whether he accepted or not, the North was clear voting now. What could he have done?
Remember what Babangida did for us?
Babangida, you see, what happened was, even when Babangida did it, you understand? Do you get me? The bulk of the population that voted was from the North. And really said it. Since Babangida was in Abuja, Governor Rimi of Kano State, then, former governor of Kano State, he said, if you are in Abiola in Lagos, Abiola Babangida will have said it is Yoruba that did it. So Abiola should fly to Kano. They will fly him as president and they stand their ground. Before we know, they rallied around Abiola. They said, don't go to North. If you go, they will kill you. Maybe so happened. Do you understand?
No.
So, but
look at where he is brainwashing Yoruba man that, if they sworn Abiola after the election, this is how they manipulated some Yoruba people to start the Igbo head today that you are seeing. These things have been planned long ago. This, or just ordinary, this brainwashing. Some of the Yorubas have forgotten that it is the North, the Fulani man who pied all of them. It is Fulani man. The bulk of buying against the Yorubas came from Fulani man. So this Shetima now, which is the Shekau in Asorok, was brainwashing a Yoruba man then called Kunle, telling him, oh, look, we did not buy your own person. We did not buy Abiola. We told Abiola to move to the north so that we will swear him in as president. Is there seat of power in the north, in the northern region then? Look at the brainwashing. Telling him that, oh, They are trying to protect his interests. They have the power. Who would have buyed Abiola if not the Yoruba? They have the power. Now he's telling Kunle, oh, we did not blackmail you people. We told your brother to move to the north. And I was not, I am not old enough then, but according to the story that I had, the northern Nigeria wanted to buy him. And they were telling him, come to the north, come to the north. You want to declare somebody winner. In an electoral country, in an electoral nation, you tell him, go to the north so that you will declare him winner and leave his own region. His region is not safe, but you, a total stranger, he will be safe in your land. All these are the brainwashing that they did to Yorubas that started this Igbo hate and destruction of the Igbo property in Lagos and anywhere in Nigeria. Even in our land, it's not safe because they are still going to use the governors, the pampas-wearing governors that they put in order to do it when the time comes. Please keep on listening and share this very program, please. Share, I beg you.
So Babangida got the... And then Abacha has been cancelled him for many years. I'm coming now. I'm coming. Before we are talking about the cancellation now. The cancellation of the election. And two, didn't you not see that even from the West, there were people who supported there are big men who joined in the cancellation of the election. But whatever it is, at that time, it was nobody was killing the Yorubas left and right. Babangida was virtually betraying everybody. And today, have you not seen him on TV?
Now, wow. I beg they pay attention.
Have you not seen how he was looking? Is God not wonderful? Did you not see Babangida? Even though I have promised as from today, so long as he's my brother from the north, even if he's eating everybody in Nigeria fresh, you come out with Nigerian man leg eating. I will not say it's bad again.
Are you hearing him? This is the vice president of this Nigeria now. He is brainwashing a Yoruba man, telling him that, oh, we were not against you people. We wanted to help you people. We wanted to help your brother to declare the election when he won, but they told him not to come. But Kunle was referring him to Babangida and Abacha. He said, no, leave that one. We are coming to the cancellation of the election. That Babangida was betraying virtually everybody, including the North. So he have put themselves away from Babangida's crime as he purported that Babangida committed a crime. But yet in that audio, he is telling a Yoruba man that he is brainwashing. I wonder why some of our Yoruba brothers are being brainwashed by these very cheap people. He is still telling Kunle that he have, as from that moment, he have taken an oath that even if Babangida is bad, as far as his brother from the north, even if he saw Babangida eating human leg, that he will support Babangida because he's his brother from the north. Are you getting it? Even if he caught him eating human's leg, he will support him. But in our own, Eastern Security Network on Ndi Igbo, Nezuzu, Aga North. Oh, they are terrorists. They are terrorists. There is one Mugu, the one scamming people, called Udele. He's everywhere. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu must go to jail. They look at Nwabingo. He's in WhatsApp group begging money. Begging. These are serial beggars using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to live very good life. In WhatsApp group, begging. I want to protest against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I need 5 million. I need 10 million. I need 100 million. We are bringing the Nigerian army. I need 200 million. This is the way that they live. No business. Just what are their business? I am campaigning against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is their only business. Sowore that is always protesting. If you ask Sowore, what is your business? I am Sahara Reporter owner. He owns a news agency called Sahara Reporter. So they make a lot of money from their online adverts. But all these mosquitoes, including Nkene Pampas, Nkene Akwi Nwani, Nwata Udele, all of them, if you ask them, what are your business? I am protesting against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It has become a business rather than they facing the way. Their own brother, they will report their brother to the North. But the North is telling you, Shetima, that is the president of Nigeria now, said if his brother is eating human leg, that he will cover and protect his own brother because he is his brother from the North. Let us continue listening, please.
Because I have learned how to support my people from what I have seen with Igbos and some people in Nigeria with Jonathan.
Man, you must thank God for Yoruba. Yoruba supported by otherwise we don't have come.
Please pay very close attention. For those of you saying, I am not Igbo. For those of you always saying, I am not Igbo, please share this very program and hit the like button, please. Share this very program and hit the like button. There are some people, if you ask them, oh, I'm not Igbo, I'm not Igbo, I'm not Igbo, I'm not Igbo, Onewuari, come and listen to this very man. He said, with what he have seen against the Igbos, from where Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is, that even if his brother is a criminal, he will support his brother. So what they are now saying virtually is that Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is an Igbo man. Are you getting it? Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is an Igbo man. But they will always come and tell you, when they want to score that their cheap political distance, they will tell you, oh, you are not Igbo. Don't agree to them that you are an Igbo. And you, as cheap as your brain is, you will buy that. Oh, I'm not Igbo. Igbos are too domineering. They are trying to claim my territory. Imagine a Fulani man will be laughing at you. Laughing at you because a Fulani man's agenda is working. A Fulani man's agenda is working. Look at what a vice president now was saying then. Hit the like button and share, please. I am Onyebuchi. That even if his brother is a criminal, or he saw his brother eating human head or human leg, that he will support his brother. That he have learned something from the Igbos. So what he is now saying is that Igbos never forsake even those who said that they are not Igbo. Jonathan never said that he is Igbo. Jonathan is an Ijo man. Jonathan is an Ijo man. Asari Dokubo said he is an Ijo. But they are looking at Asari and laughing at Asari because if there is anything that they need to discuss, they will exclude him. Oh, this one in Yamani. This one is in Yamani. If his brother Jonathan can be ascribed as an Igbo man, who are you? They will always ascribe you as an Igbo man. And they will always exclude you. Because some of you, they have deceived you people to fight against your brother. Look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ndi Igbo na Ghana jide. Look at the protest that occurred in Abuja recently. Ndi Igbo. Oh, Nda Youth Forum. Although Youth Forum, you may not return to your land till thy kingdom come. I am telling you. You may not return to your land. All those idiots that was protesting against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Udele is just milking you people, deceiving you people. Come out and protest. Look at a Fulani man telling you if he caught his own brother, his blood brother, eating human head, he will support his brother. Why eating human head? But those of you who do not care about your own brother, you always bring your brother. Oh, did your brother Kebuo? Because you want to score cheap political card. You want your enemies to celebrate you. Oh, I am not Igbo, I'm different. Whereas you know that you are Igbo. You know that you are denying your ancestors. You know that you are even denying your fathers. Just because you want to score cheap card, cheap scorecard. you deviate, you differentiate yourself from your own kings and blood. Come and listen to Shetima. This was done early years of Buhari, so that you know the plans that these very people have for you. It's not today. They did not start today. I have 22 live viewers. Please hit the like button and share. 22 live viewers, one comment. Ndunwafu Eze, thank you for...
no, I'm coming, welcome. Please. I'm coming. Let me tell you one part. I'm coming. Listen to me. A section of Yoruba supported Buhari. Listen to me, please. Let us make this clear. You understand? We are all politicians. Yes. The Tinebus, since 1960s, since the Oyibo left the country, Yoruba was called one word. We are first Yorubas. You are first Yoruba before you are a Muslim, you are a Christian or Nigerian. Yes. So or not so? Yeah. All right. Abi? Okay. Yes, all right. Now, all along, a Yoruba man, whoever he is, whether Muslim or Christian, preferred anybody in the south to rule him than a Hausaman from the north. That's the truth about it. So, fortunately, I'm coming, sir. Let me learn. Fortunately, the center is controlled by non-Muslim, non-Northerners. Are you getting me? And Jonathan, fortunately for the North, Jonathan decided to use religion and slash the Yorubas to the extent, for the first time, Yorubas were divided religiously. To the extent Muslims, Yorubas stood their ground and said they were not supporting Jonathan. They even refused to attend the meetings of the Jonathan. The papers are there, their statements are there in the papers. So or not so, sir? No, I like this. It's there. That's the truth. It's there. Even when he went, there were some few Muslim leaders who met Jonathan. The Supreme Council of Islam of Western Nigeria or Yoruba land came out clearly and said no, they disagree. Do you get me? We know the population of Yoruba, close to 80%, or let's say close to 60% are Muslim. This man constituted a national conference. This is the Yorubas that were attending it. We read it and we had them saying it. So that succeeded in dividing the Yoruba themselves. Now, two, the humiliation, whatever they did to us, our own was that let them kill us and reduce our population. But
I don't know if anyone is understanding. Are you hearing this man clearly? I don't know if anyone is understanding what this man is saying. A Yoruba man called Kunle that was discussing with Shetima before he became vice president of Nigeria. While Shetima was trying to brainwash a Yoruba man, Kunle was equally telling him that don't forget that we help your own brother to come to seat of power. But this Shetima is a criminal. He criminally changed it to where it suits him and to where he will brainwash these very people. Just pay very close attention to where they will land. Igbo. And to protect the North against us, the Ndi Igbo. We have never ever controlled Nigeria before, but these very people are very damn afraid of us. We have never ever controlled anything since after the war. They said to us, oh, we have South. We have a Eastern region, even though in the geography we are not in the East. They said, no, we are in the East, so we have Eastern region, we have South, we have this, and we have that. Now, they said that Jonathan is not an Igbo man, he's from the South. But Jonathan's presidency sparked this meeting that the North went and said that the Igbos are playing against them. Jonathan's presidency, a man that they said he is from the South, sparked all of this. Please pay very close attention. I know the reason why I am playing this voice today. For those of you, on Ndi Igbo, enter a flight, go from here to Finland. Look at a Fulani man, now the vice president of the Nigeria, telling you that even if his brother finish a whole community, even if his brother is eating a human body, that they will never ever go against their brother. That they will never ever go against their brother. I have 42 live viewers watching. Please hit the like button and share. Hit the like button. It's very, very important. That even if his brother eats human body, they will never ever go against their brother. Now, ask this man, now the Vice President Shetima, this is Shetima speaking, saying even if his brother eats human body, they will never ever go against his brother because they have learned to protect their brother from the Igbo. That Igbo man supported Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. And he mentioned here that they went on meeting to discuss and talking about how Jonathan was able to divide the South. And they are ascribing it to Igbo, everything Ndi Igbo. But we Ndi Igbo, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS. Anyị nwa Ndi Igbo foduru aka na hapụ ya na hapụ ya. Ọ sị na ọ chọrọ Biafra. A na-agwa ya ọ naghị anụ ihe. We wanted him to leave Biafra. Ndi Igbo shiri ebe a gaa Finland soso tụọ Mazi Simon Ekpanga. Igbo foul. If you come from the lineage of Ife Ajona and Ukpabia Sika, Ngewa were ya far. This is a Fulani man. A Fulani man is teaching you what you're supposed to know. He is the vice president of your Nigeria. The vice president of your Nigeria. Pay very close attention. Let us continue on this very program.
They still know that we are significant politically, and they allowed us to maintain some position. But in the case of Yoruba, they were sliced out of the whole system. So or not so. That was how Tinubu and
the issue of Boko Haram, if we have to talk about Boko Haram, it's not from the south now.
I am coming now. Let me forget about Boko Haram now. We brought about the Yoruba politics. Now,
are you getting it? The Yoruba man that he's discussing, he's telling him, Alhaji, the issue of Boko Haram that you are talking about is not from the south. So why are you then talking about Goodluck Ebele Jonathan became president and you are talking about Boko Haram Asekwa? Boko Haram did not say, but yet he shut the mouth of the Yoruba guy. He made sure that he was able to brainwash Kule. And today what you are seeing in Lagos is the outcome of the brainwashing and brain damaging. If they brainwash Tunumbunka Chore, so won't he do their bidding? Please pay attention and watch.
Tinubu and the Yorubas generally carried what happened to them and went to Kaduna and met them in Kaduna and begged them that we have to put our head together. Look, sir, let me tell you the truth and find out. At a point, the Yoruba, being humiliated under Jonathan, were even considering to cut off and put their Oduduwa Republic. But they realized if they do that, the Igbos were completely in charge of finance, civil service, security, and everything. If they did do that.
Nah, Chereno. So, are you getting it? When this Tunumbu that is now prosecuting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was president, look at what Shetima was saying. That Tunumbu was contemplating and some Yorubas that they should cut off and announce Oduduwa Republic. Under Goodluck, they wanted to announce Oduduwa Republic. Tunumbu, things are unfolding. Under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, why Tunumbu went to the north to discuss? Oh, this thing is too much. We will break up and announce our own existence. But they said Igbos are in charge of finance. Igbos are in charge of security. Do you know what they mean by Igbos? If you are Ijo, Ibibua, Ishekiri, Urobo, Isoko, Izon, all of you are Igbo. Who is Goodluck Ebele Jonathan that sparked all of these Igbo heads? A Niger Delta guy. But they will always tell you, oh, do not agree to Igbo man, because keeping you divided is one of their tasks. This is the discussion of Shetima when when Tinubu won. I mean, late Muhammad Buhari won the election. This is the discussion between Shetima, now the vice president of Nigeria, and Kunle. So there was a time that even the Yoruba elite, the Yoruba elders, met with the Northerners that they want to now announce breakaway of Yoruba region. Little wonder Tinubu is giving them all the political position because they are strategizing. They will leave. They will leave. This is the confession of Shetima. Please pay very close attention. We will go. I am coming. Network connection. Are you hearing me from your own end? I have 42 live viewers and only few have hit the like button. Please hit the like button and share. This very program need to go viral. Hit the like button and share, please. I beg of you. Share this very program. Let people come in and watch to understand what they do not know. Please, I beg of you. It's very, very important that this very program go viral.
Now, you can do not die enjoying the
Exactly. I'm coming now. The Yoruba now.
You didn't benefit at all.
I'm coming, yes. The Yoruba, at the point, the Yoruba intelligence, at the point, realize that if they cut off, the Igbos will finish them. If they stay as it is and Igbo continue ruling, they will be completely finished. Before Jonathan, significant part of the economy, who are the accountants are Yorubas? Who are the judicial?
Please note, when they want to refer to Jonathan, somebody that they said you came from the south, Shetima used to call him Igbo. For those of you dividing, oh, Igbo, you are too domineering. You are an Igbo to not. Jonathan rulership, Jonathan leadership divided the North. They said, oh, it is Igbo thing. They used to call you Igbo. When Shetima wants to refer, he will say Igbo. If you go to the finance and the people in power, it's not Ndi Igbo. Jonathan appointed his own people, appointed Ndi Igbo, appointed every other people. But all of them, the Ishekiri, once they want to refer to them, they call them Igbo. Why are you doing yourself? Our own unification. This thing that some of your politicians are doing, oh, don't unite, don't unite. It is to the advantage of the Northerners because they see you as Igbo. Once they will attack you as Igbo. They will not ask you, oh, are you Ijo? Are you Ishekiri? Are you Izon? Are you Ibibo? Are you this? Or are you that? Listen to the now Vice President of Nigeria. Please pay very close attention.
Very lawyers are Yorubas. Who are the civil service are Yorubas? Today you can't find any one of them. So or not so. So that's why the Yorubas say, even if we want to leave this country, we must get this power out of the hand of the Igbo and reposition ourselves.
The Northerners really benefited from that Jonathan.
Please, this is a confession from Shetima. Now go and check what Tinubu is doing. It's all the things that Shetima said. Shetima said the Yorubas wanted to leave and announce Oduduwa Republic under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. But when they went to a meeting, they said that if we leave now, every key position is in the hands of the Igbos. So there is nothing beneficiary. There is nothing that they will take home. There is nothing that they will divide and take to their own land. So they said, no, we must come back to campaign and win the election to be able to re-strategize and then move. So even the Yorubas, according to Shetima here, want their Oduduwa Republic. Now, guess what? These voices have been in place for years, and nobody have ever thought of this confession this way that Shetima is saying. Freedom, announcing Yoruba Oduduwa Republic. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, under the same Shetima, is still in detention for saying he wants to leave. But a situation whereby Yorubas have thought of it. They have planned to exit when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was the president. I blame Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He should not appear again. All 2 by 2, you are the vice president and you handed them over. Can't you see that Barack Obama was rolling a military tank? Are you not a man? They tried it in Cuba. Is the man there not there? Is the man not there? You're a man. You stand your ground. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. It's a sovereign nation. You stand your ground and hold on to your power. They now that are holding onto their power, they're not saying Nigeria is not a sovereign nation. Instead of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to hold on to power, to divide Nigeria, he said, no, they are going to come after me, let me leave. He left. Had it been that he held on to the power, Yorubas would have announced their freedom, or their Oduduwa Republic, according to the confession of Shetima here. Had it been that Goodluck Ebele Jonathan went for the second time, Yorubas will have no option than to leave. It is here in the confession of Shetima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria. Those trying the same as Nnamdi Kanu for speaking about freedom. But they were already discussing freedom when Goodluck was there. How to declare Oduduwa, how to declare Arewa, and how to declare. Please pay very close attention.
Too much, Alagi. Hey, we have the calculations of the
We agree. What can he do? He must now. He must. He wouldn't do just that. He must. He knows that we can do it. He must deal with us. So that was why the Yoruba said no. Whatever it is. So, but what I assure you,
let's keep on praying for President Buhari.
Oga, we have learned our lesson.
We have in our area here now. They be praying for him.
We have learned our lesson.
We pray for the prophet because and even our prophet.
No, to tell you the truth, the North, the northern people, notwithstanding the presidency, honestly, the trust at least of the Southeast is finished. And I assure you too, in Yoruba land, listen to me. I am coming. I am coming.
He helped Northerners in 1979.
I am coming, please.
They helped Shagari.
Listen to me. Not that they help themselves, gentlemen, please.
Are you getting me? Now, please pay very close attention. Now, please pay very close attention and share this very program. Why did this president now, the vice president, was talking to Kunle, telling them that Southeast, this and that. Kunle was referring to him that the Southeast help even the North on many occasions. He doesn't want to hear that. Oh, he was telling Kunle they help themselves. Do you know the reason why he was trying to brainwash Yorubas and they are trying to brainwash Yorubas? Because they know that the Igbo man is the last place that they can brainwash. Igbo man over donye goni na chen na adore na aga. Oga kata ya sị gị na ebe ka ịdọdụ m aga ihe a. Hapụ m aka ka m jiri aka m zọba onwe m. Ya zọba onwe ya. He wouldn't love you to continue dragging him to wherever that you want. So this now, the now vice president doesn't want to use ear to hear an Igbo man. Please note, Igbo man in the context of Shetima is an Ijo man. Is a Urobo man. Is a Shekiri. Is a Bibo. Because he classified Jonathan as Igbo. He classified those that Jonathan appointed, even though that Jonathan key positions goes to his people and some of the Igbos. He classified all of them, Ishekiri, Bibo, Ijon, Kanu, he classified all of them as Igbo. Why are we doing ourselves? Why can't we stand up? We are one people. Our enemy sees us as one. Though the enemy is the one dividing you for his own political gain because he doesn't want your own unity. But once you take over, they see you as one. They see you as one, and they cannot allow you to take over anytime, any day. So Jonathan's blackmail was he's an Igbo. Please pay very close attention. This discussion is getting, I am loving this very discussion.
We don't need anybody in this country. They help themselves. Let me ask you a question, sir. Let me ask you a question.
Please note, he's talking to a Yoruba man. We don't need anybody in this country. Igbos help themselves. So why are you trying, Shetima? Why are you trying to brainwash a Yoruba man since you don't need anybody in that country? Why are you trying to brainwash them? And let me tell you what they have done in Lagos. How Fulanis have taken over key positions. I don't want to be mentioning Hausa because an Hausa man is not looking for trouble. An Hausa man is not that trouble type. I have been to the north. A core Hausa man is just a peace-loving type. But Fulani, even they themselves, they will tell you, be worried of Fulani. That is the main problem. Keep on listening, please. If I'm speaking your mind, can I hear you say, Papa, fire on? I see you are Marachi Christian. I see you, Ike Chukwu. Can I hear you say, Papa, fire on? Please share this very program across many platforms. Share.
Industries and human beings who are more in number.
I did not announce now.
Not number. I'm not talking of population. I'm talking of economy now. I'm talking of cars, the motors that we drive.
Yes.
And industries that we have. Yes. If you put them on one part and you put human being on the other part, who are more in number?
Cars are more.
Cars are more than human beings?
Human being.
Good. Two, if you put fuel and food by the side, which one is consumed more?
In food now.
Good. And we have food. So people are actually helping themselves. Let me tell you, even in Yoruba land, let me tell you what they will do to you. What Oba of Lagos said that.
So what he's saying, what if I understand this guy very well, what he's saying is that fuel that we consume and food, which one is more consumed? That they said food. He said Igbos are helping themselves because they have food. Then why are you then every oil? The development in that Nigeria is not coming. Shetima, the development you have in Nigeria, do you have it from the cassava you sell in the north? How much do you generate from the GDP of the nonsense you are doing in the north? But I can tell you that all the whole oil companies are situated in Lagos and in Abuja, and they generate more GDP than the cassava, gari, ewa, and abado that you people sell. Look at their brain. Please pay very close attention. This is getting more interesting. I love this very discussion. I love this very discussion. It is getting interesting. I am asking you to share this very program. It's very, very important. Please.
We are pushing them to the ocean. Most of these markets that are burning in Lagos, look at it, they are Igbo-dominated markets. You get me? In fact, some Yorubas were telling me when I was in Lagos last weekend that it is we, the Northerners, when we are in charge of license. Honestly, the trust, at least on the Southeast, is finished. And the motors that we drive, and industries that we have, if you put them on one part and you put human being on the other part, who are more in number?
Cars are more.
Cars are more than human beings?
Human being.
Good. Two, if you put fuel and food by the side, which one is consumed more?
In food now.
Good. And we have food. So people are actually helping themselves. Let me tell you, even in Yoruba land, let me tell you what they will do to you. What Oba of Lagos said that we are pushing them to the ocean. Most of these markets that are burning in Lagos, look at it, they are Igbo-dominated markets. You get me? In fact,
look at Shetima. Now, all these political nuisance and political criminal running to Abuja to meet this very man. Look at what he's saying about you. One Oba of Lagos said that they are pushing the Igbos into the Atlantic Ocean. Is that not so? That is coming from somebody who's supposed to be a vice president of a nation. So referring to Igbos, that they are pushing the Igbos, Ndi Igbo, to the Atlantic Ocean. And he's still the vice president of Nigeria. And he said, we are pushing them to the ocean. Let me tell you, he's talking to Kunle this time around, what we will do to the Igbos and Igbo businesses. Those things that he said about what they will do to Igbo and Igbo businesses, have you not seen them all? Igbo businesses have been destroyed. Igbo man house is being destroyed. Igbo man shop is being destroyed. Ndi Igbo. We have the money, we have the numbers. We can unite, fight once and for all. Nobody should tell you, oh, why you are fighting, you are destroying the economy. Economy will shall go down. But once you get your land, once you get your freedom, you can be able to dominate, you can be able to conquer, you can be able to fight other things. Your land first. Your land first. I am Onyebuchinwa Ashiburobi, and people who post must as well use hashtag Freemazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very, very important. Let us go, please.
Some Yoruba were telling me when I was in Lagos last weekend that it is we, the Northerners, when we are in charge of Lagos as federal capital, that open room for Igbos to come and dominate them. And it's over now. And it's over. All the businesses Igbos are doing, we are going to bring it and do it. Do you get me? Fashola for the past 5 years have refused to approve any industry, especially pharmaceutical, to Igbo people. Find out.
You are right. You are right.
Do you get me?
You are right.
So, are you getting it? Fashola for the past 5 years have refused to approve any industry, especially pharmaceutical, to Igbo people. So Fashola was on top of the plan against Ndi Igbo. Now it is adding up. Where I live in Lagos was the area that they sell medicine. And every time you will just see NAFDAC, they will come close the shops of everybody. Even those that have the license, they close their shops. This very message is adding up. Now I am getting to even understand more from this very message of Shetima. It is targeted on Igbo businesses. Destroy it. Destroy it. Now, this Shetima, when he gave this voice, he have not become vice president. So are you now getting what is happening to you? There is no escape riot. You go, I was laughing when I saw Kubana kneeling down to him. You will see the aspect of kneeling down. He will speak it here, that how we will come and beg. It is adding up. It is adding up why they virtually wants to destroy Obogu, using even your governors and your own people. Because the leader of Obogu market in Onitsha is an Igbo man, the chairman of Obogu. He used to tell them, charge them 300,000. Now he took it to 700,000 each shop to pay. It is adding up. Now tell me somebody that you are collecting money that does not mean anything from that person, 300,000, 700,000, and you are telling the person not to sell fake. Where can the person get the money in order to pay you if the person is not selling fake? So they are now the ones making our own people to manufacture fake drugs. They are not fighting fake drugs. It is adding up. Please pay very close attention. So even our Igbo people are in this plan to deal with the Igbos. Imagine, the leader of Obogu market is only Igbo. He cannot stand up. He said he remit money to Soludo. Soludo in turn have spoken. Oh, how to do this, how to do that, how to fight for Igbo man. When he was not governor, he became governor. Igbo man, first target. Like I always tell you people, before any one of them become governor or become anything, they will go to Abuja and collect and take an oath. You will do this. If you fail to do this, we will remove you. We will charge you to court. We will remove you. So all of them are vertically boy to Ndi North, to Ndi Ugu. I want you to understand that. Very, very important. Please pay very close attention. It is adding up.
The Yorubas in these 4 years, that's what we are telling ourselves. If we in the North want to be useless again, let us be. But the Yoruba people in the 4 years, they want to control their land completely. That's why Buhari have to sign that Lagos is going to be given special status. We are going to have a kind of semi-regional system. Lagos is going to have special status. It means nobody again will control Lagos. The indigenes of Lagos are the ones that are going to control Lagos.
Are you getting it? That is the reason why they destroyed your land. It is adding up. That is the reason why they are destroying your houses and your business. Because Lagos have been given semi-regional status and for the Yorubas to control their land against the Igbos. Because remember, it is Igbo heads. We don't want the Igbos, we don't want them to control anything. We don't want them to control the economy. We don't want them to control their business. Please pay very close attention. Everything is adding up.
They can form land policies.
Low battery, please charge. Power off.
Okay, since power is off, let us play it here.
For a land, as me as the house man, I will pay 10,000 naira. Igbo man will pay 1 million naira.
Are you getting it? Ha! This thing have died. The MP that I'm using. So he said they can form land policies. So Yoruba in the aspect now have agreed with the North. We will control our region. We will destroy Igbo houses. Tenement rate, Igbo man, Yoruba man may pay 5,000 naira for tenement rate. Hausa man may pay 10,000 naira for tenement rate. Then Igbo man must pay 1 million naira for tenement rate. Are you getting it? It is adding up. These are agreements that they had. I am sorry I may not proceed in this very program, but I must subscribe, follow me on this very platform. Follow me on this very platform so that I must redo this very program when I charge up. I thought that this thing is charged so that you can hear the plans. And where did we stop? We stopped at 10 minutes and the thing is 20 minutes and 20 seconds, but we have stopped at 10 minutes and 53 seconds for you to know that we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. And for those of you who do not understand anything about this very thing, it is very, very important that you know what they have planned against you. Very, very important that you know what they have planned. Because all this plan that, you know, those days they will say, oh, it is a propaganda. Oh, it is a propaganda. All of them are now adding up. All of them is now happening before even those who are calling it propaganda. It is happening. I have 13 people have hit the like button. 13 people so far have hit the like button. 51 shares. I want these very people to hit the like button and share this very program. So I come your way next time, please. It's very, very important for you to share this very program. This is the conversation between Yoruba and the now Vice President, Shetima, on how to deal with the Igbos. And we are getting to the interesting part, the Bluetooth now off. We are going to have part 2. We stopped at 10 minutes 53 seconds. Tomorrow, we must complete this very segment. Share and God bless you, please.